Happy holidays. I'm Frank Williams Jr., and it's time for the Homegrown Happy Hour. In the studio with me, he was dressed up like Santa Claus.
It's too hot.
It's a little too hot. You may recognize him from Channel 7. He's the news anchor at night. Stephen Clark. What's going on, man?
I'm sharing this right now on my Facebook page.
Perfect.
Good.
Perfect. I was making sure you were pulling up something. Just not ignoring me.
I'm doing great, thanks. I'm doing great. You, by the way, I've never seen you look better.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're looking
now,
great.
I don't know if you saw me with the bald head, too. I don't know if it's the last time I seen you. I got my head shaved.
Yeah, you did get a little shave there.
But I don't know.
Put the hat back on.
Yeah, I look a little bit better.
Yeah.
Even with the big ears, you think so?
I'm saying put the hat on.
So I want to thank the sponsors, Children's Hospital of Michigan Foundation, Lyft, and the Michigan State University's Community Music School. So we got before you came in, I made you, I kind of gave you a goal. I gave you a task, and that was to write 4 original Christmas songs. Uh-huh. Or at least try to, and you succeeded, and I'm very excited to have you on today.
If you tell me to write a song, I'll write a song.
You are you're no stranger to the Homegrown Happy Hour, but first up, we got a song that may not be an original, but you put a little spin on it, and if you're a fan of Stephen Clark, you saw it on his Facebook page just the other week. Here he is doing Blue Christmas.
You can't do a Christmas without Blue Christmas.
No, you can't.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree just won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You be doing all right with your Christmas of white. I'll have a blue Christmas. All right, Frank, hum. You be doing all right with your Christmas of white, and I have a blue Christmas. Yes, and I have a blue Christmas.
Awesome, and I appreciate you letting me hum and not sing. I'm more comfortable humming than singing, for sure.
Well, if you remember the Elvis version, they've got like the entire choir back there singing that section right there. And I've got an elf, so you do what you make do with what you got.
Which, in case you missed it, he was dressed up, but I'm not playing guitar. He is. It's a little hard to play guitar in the Santa suit, but he's a good sport. He did try.
Well, the problem is I put the Santa suit on, and a couple things happen. One is really, really hot.
Yeah.
It's also just a little restricting because I got kind of long arms.
Sure.
So the arms on my Santa suit came up to about my elbow.
Yeah.
Now,
and
the good news is I dug through the pocket of the Santa suit and I found a Jell-O shot cup and $2 cash.
We need to find out who was wearing this before.
So we left $2 cash.
You got a tip just for wearing it. That's awesome.
I know, pretty good.
Well, speaking of Christmas, are you done with your Christmas shopping? I know you got a lot to get this year.
You know, I always get criticized because when you're on television, no matter what you say, it's wrong. All right? So I started making a point. I said, hey, I got all my shopping done. I just go online like that. Of course, then I get all the chambers of commerce and all the bricks and mortar stores in the neighborhood all saying, you can't say that.
Right.
And I said, well, see, I hate shopping. I'm a buyer. I know what I want to get. I go get it. So I walk into a store right to where it is. I pick it up and I walk out, and that's it.
You don't want people in your face like, oh, you try this?
Exactly. And I don't shop for anything. So online is perfect for me. I just go to what I want, buy it, and it's sent to the house, often wrapped, often with a little gift card with it. How easy is that?
But you did go shopping the other day. You had a funny story at Brookstone, I heard.
Well, we actually, oddly enough, we didn't go shopping. We took Scarlett, my granddaughter. My wife and I took my granddaughter. We just wanted to go just kind of walk around, and it was just crazy at Somerset Collection. So we're going by Brookstone, which has all those cool gadgets,
Right.
and they have this set of earphones with little cat ears on the top. And my granddaughter just wanted these in the worst way. She goes, I want those. So I said, well, let me see if I can get them to work. And so I put them on. There's a little button to connect with your Bluetooth. So I have my phone out, and I'm connecting my Bluetooth, and it pops up, and I hit the Bluetooth, and I put on a song called It's Always Sunny in My Head, which I recorded in the studio last week I wrote. It's kind of an Uncle Cracker-sounding song. And matter of fact, hey, Cracker, record that song, would you please?
Right,
Thanks.
Cracker, I hope you're listening.
There you go. So doesn't he listen all the time to this?
He should be.
Sure.
I don't know why he wouldn't be.
So I'm sitting there, and I can hear in the headphones, I can hear that song playing. It's kind of a fun jam. So I'm hearing it, I'm turning it up on my phone, but it's not really coming up too loud in my earphone. I can't figure out why. Then I look up, and I realize everybody in the store is looking around. So I take the headphones off, and at the top volume, like at 10, in the store, in Brookstone, is my song playing on all the speakers.
At least it was a good song.
It was a pretty good song. But it's so funny. Then my wife, being my wife, looked over and said, that sounds like you. And I'm saying, it is. Hold on a second.
Hey, you were supposed to know it is me. Come
I'm
on.
trying to turn it down. And finally get it turned down. It's like, I think it's time to go.
Right? So when you're writing all these Christmas songs, does she like, I don't know, does she get behind you with the music? Does she sing with you? Does she play with you at all?
No. It's she loves to come hear me when I play someplace where it's like a finished product. She does not like to hear the process. and frankly, Frank, the process is much like making sausage. You don't really want to see the process of songwriting. It's ugly. It can be tense. It can be mean. It can be happy. But it's not something you necessarily, unless you're a songwriter, the process of songwriting is kind of like watching paint dry with tigers nipping at your heels.
So, but you did write some original songs, and she did go hear you through the process.
Oh yeah,
of writing
definitely.
these Christmas suits.
Definitely.
And you got one here called "A Piece on My Little Piece of Earth."
This is brand new. It's never been played before.
Okay, cool.
And by the
Awesome.
way, if you get a little confused because you heard somebody else locally come out with a song by the same name, it did. Angela Predom's a friend of mine. She's a local songwriter, kind of does the indie songwriter vibe. And we've worked together on a couple of other songs. And so she sent me a note the other day, a couple weeks ago, and said, I really need a Christmas song. You got any lyrics that would fit? And I said, well, I've had this idea. So I sent her these lyrics. Actually, I'd never written them. I wrote them out pretty quick, and I sent her these lyrics. And she looked at them and said, I'm looking for more of a positive Christmas vibe. So she ended up rewriting the entire lyrics and did her own version, which is fine. There's no problem with that. The only thing she kept was that title, Peace on My Little Piece of Earth. So here's my version of Peace. There are two versions out simultaneously.
This is the Stephen Clark version.
This is mine, and it's not as upbeat as hers.
It's still pretty good, though.
I think it's pretty good. Jingle bells on the radio, standing underneath the mistletoe. Turn the TV off, don't want to hear the news. Baking cookies and twinkling lights, can't even hear the neighbors fight when I'm doing my thing with Bing in the living room. And I know there's trouble in the world tonight, and it breaks my heart, especially now at Christmas time. I want to do my part, and I promise tomorrow I'll pray for peace with everything I'm worth. But tonight I'll settle for a little peace on my little piece of earth. Well, there's bound to be some noise when the kids get a look at those toys. Santa left them under the tree. And we'll play charades, it's a wonderful life, and shut the world outside tonight and pretend it's a postcard Christmas Eve. And I know there's trouble in the world tonight, and it breaks my heart, especially now at Christmas time. I want to do my part, and I promise tomorrow I'll pray for peace with everything I'm worth. But tonight I'll settle for a little peace on my little piece of earth. All I ask is just one night, a gift of peace and quiet. And I know there's trouble on the earth tonight, and it breaks my heart, especially now at Christmas time. I want to do my part. And I promise tomorrow I'll pray for peace, everything I'm worth. But tonight I'll settle for a little piece of my little piece of earth.
A little piece of my little piece of earth.
Little piece on my little piece of earth. It's kind of selfish, and I know that, but don't you ever feel that way? It's like, it's a big world out there, and you want to change it, but there's sometimes you just want to just say, listen, I just need this little thing for me today.
Right?
Yeah. Little me time.
And speaking of a little piece of earth, with what you do, it's very taxing, I'm sure. You dropped a bomb, let's say last month, wasn't it?
Yes, I did.
Dropped a bomb. You are retiring
I am
after
retiring.
how many years?
I've been in broadcasting. I got in radio in 1976. So that makes it 41 years in broadcasting. Got into TV in 79, so I'll just be about a year short of 40 years.
That's incredible, though.
The funny thing is, since I've retired, I've gotten so many reasons from other people why I retired. Most of them are bad. So it's just crazy that I announced I'm retiring because I want to spend more time with a granddaughter whose time on earth may be just a touch limited. I want to spend more time on my music, which to me is very important. I want to spend more time with my family. I've got a project I'm working on with my granddaughter. Our foundation is building a huge, very ambitious $1 million playground in Oakland County. It's all access for all kids to play together. Nobody's segregated. Everybody's together playing on this playground.
Fantastic.
So these are my projects. But since I retired, people have speculated that, obviously I've been pushed out for whatever reason. I've been fired, whatever reason. Trust me, the station was shocked when I came into them and said, you know what, I'm done.
Right.
Fortunately, I have a wife who saves well and invests well, so I had this ability. Plus, people think I'm 40, which thank you very much. Okay,
So
50.
It's time. It's time, but you're not done. You're
I'm not
still
done,
going to be
no.
doing the music.
I'm
You're
gonna
still going to be out and about. You're still going to be around.
Yeah, I got a place in Nashville that I've had for a few years, and right now I can go down and spend weekends and hang out. But it's kind of the business of music takes place on weekdays, like every other business. So I need to spend more time in Nashville on weekdays where I can network with other writers and meet publishers. If you know any publishers, just give me a call.
But with your songwriting, you can tell the time you spend in Nashville just through like you write really great songs.
Well, thanks.
And, complex and stuff. And I don't know, you usually write drinking songs, but I'm like, your challenge is to write Christmas songs this time.
Well, the funny thing is, last time I was at your show a couple months ago, I played you a couple songs, and they both happened to be drinking songs.
Right.
And you looked at me and said, do you have a drinking problem? And I thought about it a second, and I said, no, I have a drinking song problem.
I wasn't that mean, by the way.
Well, no. It was a
problem.
legitimate question. But I said, no, I think I have a drinking song problem, and since then I've written a song called I've Got a Drinking Song Problem. So.
But you have another Christmas song called LoJack on Jesus.
All right, here is this is a true story. Every year you hear this. As a matter of fact, you guys on the radio talk about it. We on television talk about it. Every year, somebody steals the baby Jesus out of a nativity scene.
It's true.
True.
It happens. Yeah.
Every year, somebody steals one. So a couple years ago, when this was going on, there was a rash of Jesus thefts. I decided I needed a song to talk about, on what's going on with that. Okay, so here's my solution. It's called LoJack and Jesus. I knew something was wrong out on the lawn of my house. The sheep's legs were broken, and all three wise men were down. I ran to the manger, praying that I might be wrong. My worst fears were confirmed. The baby Jesus was gone. I got a secret. All it takes is one call. And I'll get them back in no time at all. 'Cause I got a LoJack on Jesus if I need to track him down. I don't have to worry hurry all over town. I always know just where to go to retrieve him when I need him. I'll get him back, 'cause I got a LoJack on Jesus. Well, I followed that beacon like a cry to the far side of town, to where a little light bulb burned in the front room of a little rundown house. And I watched through the window as that thief who'd stolen from me gift wrapped my baby Jesus and slipped him under his tree. Oh, it gets really sad here. And asleep on the couch, I saw a little girl, must have been about 3. I decided right there, maybe they needed Jesus more than me. Yeah, I got a LoJack on Jesus if I need to track him down. I don't have to worry or hurry all over town. I always know just where to go to retrieve him when I need him. I'll get him back, 'cause I got a LoJack on Jesus. Oh yeah, I'll get him back, 'cause I got a LoJack on Jesus. Oh.
Every time I see a nativity scene now, that's what's going to
That's what's going to come to mind. But see, that is the solution.
That right? No, that's
Right there.
great.
If
That's
everybody
great.
just put a LoJack on their Jesus, it'd be good.
It's true though. It's almost like I would never do it, but someone always messes with those scenes, no matter where you live.
Yeah.
It's always those are always.
And I've always been baffled why. I mean, come on, of all the crimes on earth, stealing the baby Jesus out of a nativity scene, that is the lowest.
So what did you ask for Christmas this year?
You know, I never need anything. If it's something, it's usually musical, you know, and I don't need any more guitars. So actually,
Maybe
I
not
was
so much a need, just like you see it and you're like, I would really like that.
And here's actually what I'm oddly enough is everything I ever ask for, I have to go get it myself anyway, because it's usually something that my wife has no clue what it is.
Right, sure.
Yeah. So this year it's a PA system, because one of the things I'm going to be doing in retirement, as a matter of fact, you can help me out.
Okay.
I'm looking for places to do concerts. So I'll have my little PA system. I'll just drive up to your house and I'll hook it up and do a concert.
You want to do that? I have parties all summer.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
That's great advertising too.
Super duper. So anyway, I'm going to get a PA system so I can just plug in and be a contained one-man band.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so it's among the things I'll be doing in my retirement. So I tell people is I don't necessarily want to work full-time, but I want to be working full-time.
You do plan on being still in Detroit. I mean, you plan to travel to Nashville, but you still plan on living
I'll
here.
spend, my goal is to spend maybe 10 days a month in Nashville, but I got a lot of stuff going on here. We're building that playground. My wife's got a business here, you know, and I have a wife here and the whole works. And
Speaking of which, let's turn it back a little bit. That playground, it's everything you do for your granddaughter, Scarlett, it's just amazing the stuff you do. How would someone get involved with that?
Well, we have a website. It's easy to get to. It's www.scarlettsmile.com. There's only one T in Scarlett, so scarlettsmile.com. And you go to that page, it'll show you what we're up to here. But again, it's she has a condition, just for those who don't understand. She has a condition called spinal muscular atrophy. She is probably one of the smartest human beings on earth. Most vocal, most verbal, funniest, most optimistic. She's 5 years old, and she will just crack you up, but she doesn't have any muscles. So she's in a wheelchair. She, can't lift her hands very high and can't walk and things like this. So I made a promise to her that I would do whatever I can to help her, get things done. And one of the things we found was in the accessible playgrounds we found in the region, which are good, they generally tend to segregate the equipment for the kids who are in wheelchairs and stuff like that. They segregate it slightly to the side, and the thinking was, well, we don't want them to get in the middle of everybody else and get hurt. But the problem is, my granddaughter sits there and looks over at the other kids playing, and she wants to be with them.
They feel that segregation.
Yeah, and then the other kids are looking over at the other playground. They're going, oh, it's us and them. So we want to break down that barrier and get kids at an early age to stop seeing the wheelchair and start seeing the kid in the wheelchair.
That's very smart because the sentiment is, it's obviously,
Yeah.
but that's that's really cool. So what was the website one more time?
www.scarlettsmile.com.
Awesome. And the music you do, you don't, you sell, where can you find your music at?
Well, it's all over the place. I do have an album out called Unplug, and you can find that on all the places, like iTunes, wherever else you buy your electronic music. It's the album's on there. And $1 of every one of the albums goes to the playground because it's got a song on it called "I Will Walk for You," which was my promise to Scarlett that I will walk for her if she will fly for me. So.
Which I believe was the first song we had you play for us.
Yeah, I think I played that
you on. You played that song.
I played that song, and it's done extremely well. It got I think we're about 500,000 hits or something like that
incredible.
on Facebook, and YouTube is climbing, and it's out there. And plus, it's on the homepage of scarlettsmile.com. So take a look at that video, and it's a powerful video, and I think it sends a message to everybody who takes that little extra step to help somebody else.
Sure. And you got time for one more song, my friend.
Hey, thanks.
No, hey, thank you, man. This is incredible. Stephen Clark in here at MusicTown Detroit with me. This last song we got is How Uncle Ralph Became Santa's New Reindeer.
Yeah, this song, it came from, there's a famous song out there, and I actually know the guy who wrote the song. His name is Randy Brooks, and you probably don't know the song, but you don't know the name, but you know the song. So I was talking to Randy Brooks, and I said, how does it feel like, no matter where you go, what time of year, it doesn't matter if it's Christmas, people want him to play that Christmas song. He kind of laughs, and he says, I never send the checks back. They have put his kids through college. They've bought him a nice house. It's called How Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. He wrote that song.
My favorite Christmas song.
Isn't that a great song? So anyway, I years ago I decided, like 2 years ago, I said, I can write a song like that. So I wrote this song. It's a Michigan flavor, and it kind of gets a little revenge on the reindeer. All right?
How Uncle Ralph Became Santa's New Reindeer.
Uncle Ralph went hunting Christmas Eve up in the Keweenaw. Him and his gun were loaded before the crack of dawn. Hunkered down behind a sign, hunkered down behind a pine when a big old herd flew by. Never even crossed his mind that normal deer don't fly. Well, he drew a bead on that lead deer with a big rack on his head. Made an easy target with that glowing nose of red. Then he pulled the trigger, and when the smoke had cleared, you'll understand how Ralph became Santa's new reindeer. Uncle Ralph shot Rudolph, had to take his place right there at the front of Santa Claus's sleigh. Oh, St. Nick had work to do, and someone had to steer. That's how Uncle Ralph became Santa's new reindeer. Well, now, Uncle Ralph, he's short and stout, but he gave it a good try. His little legs were pumping as they jumped up in the sky. Up they flew like lightning, up into the night, right up till Ralph remembered that he's afraid of heights. Uncle Ralph shot Rudolph, had to take his place right there at the front of Santa Claus's sleigh. Oh, St. Nick had work to do, and someone had to steer. That's how Uncle Ralph became Santa's new reindeer. On Dancer, on Prancer, onto every single house. On Comet, on Donner, on Dasher, Cupid, Vixen, and Ralph. Uncle Ralph shot Rudolph, had to take his place right there at the front of Santa Claus's sleigh. Oh, St. Nick had work to do, someone had to steer. That's how Uncle Ralph became Santa's new reindeer. All right, so I wrote that song and I recorded it and I sent it off to Nashville because I thought it was the perfect country Christmas song. So I was waiting by the mailbox for my check. Instead, I got a letter from Nashville. Said, thank you for your submission of Uncle Ralph. Unfortunately, we found a couple problems with your song. Number one, you have killed off the most popular reindeer in history. And we think some of our younger listeners might find that a little objectionable. And number two, you have put Ralph at the front of Santa's sled without the FAA-approved navigational beacons, which we think is irresponsible and reckless.
How Ralph ruined Christmas.
Exactly. So because of this, we pass. So I went back in and I recorded a another verse, which fixes the problem. I'm still waiting for the check. Well, now Rudolph is in rehab down in Montserrat. Seems Uncle Ralph just winged him when he took that shot. Ralph is working out just fine, guiding Santa's sled. A little nip now and then keeps Ralph's nose glowing red. Uncle Ralph shot Rudolph, had to take his place right there at the front of Santa Claus's sleigh. Old Saint Nick had work to do and someone had to steer. That's how Uncle Ralph became Santa's new reindeer.
Oh, man.
There
Happy. That was fun. Happy holidays from MusicTown Detroit. I'm Frank Williams Jr. My guest, Stephen Clark, who won't be saying Bon Voyage in February. We will just wait for more things to come. Ho, ho, ho. I want to thank the sponsors, Children's Hospital of Michigan Foundation, Lyft, and the Michigan State Community Music School. That'll be it for the till the new year. And so if you're a local artist that wants to be featured with us here at MusicTown, send me an email with an MP3 of your song to frank.jr@wycd.com. Until then, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Did I mess up my anchor here?